بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم اغفر لنا ولشيخنا ولجميع المسلمين. قال المؤلف رحمه الله: وتدرك الصلاة بتكبيرة الإحرام في وقتها، ولا يصلي قبل غلبة ظنه بدخول وقتها، إما باجتهاد أو خبر متيقن فإن أو خبر ثقة متيقن فإن أحرم باجتهاد فبان قبله فنفل، وإلا ففرض. وإن أدرك مكلف من وقتها قدر التحريمة ثم زال تكليفه، أو حاضت ثم كلف وطهرت، قضوها. ومن صار أهلا لوجوبها قبل خروج وقتها لزمته ما يجمع إليها قبلها، ويجب فورا قضاء الفوائت مرتبا، ويسقط الترتيب بنسيانه وبخشية خروج وقت اختيار الحاضرة.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد. We're going to have a fun dars today. I know we always say that because every dars is fun, but some durus are where there's a lot of things that maybe you don't use in your daily life. In today's dars, there's a lot of things that unfortunately or fortunately we do run into a lot in our daily life. So the muallif, he began the bab of shurut of salah with al-waqt, al-waqt dukhul al-salah, the time of salah entering. طيب. One of the beautiful things about this book, Zad al-Mustaqni', and one of the underrated things, and that's why some people say, oh, why should I study Zad? I've already done Akhsar al-Mukhtasarat, or I've done Umda, or I've done Dalil al-Talib. But really, Zad is a much deeper book. And they're all amazing books. Don't take this as a criticism of any other book. Every book has its place. Zad al-Mustaqni' gets into many masail that are left out from al-Umda or from Dalil or Akhsar, even though those books have their own amazing specific or special attributes themselves. طيب, so we'll get into some of those today. So the muallif, he begins with تدرك الصلاة بتكبيرة الإحرام في وقتها. If somebody is trying to make salah and now the issue of waqt is what we are upon, and the time for dhuhr is about to exit, طيب, and you make the takbir for salah, and right after takbiratul ihram, before you even finish al-Fatiha, the time of Asr comes in. طيب, now there are two masail here really, if you think about it, right? What are they? One, adrakus salah. Did you pray salah on its time? And do you have to repeat it? That's one issue. The second is itham. Did you get a sin? طيب? Those are two masail. So the first mas'ala is being discussed here, not the second, which is, did you catch the salah upon its time? According to the madhab, mu'tamidan of the Hanabila, if you look in Kashf al-Kina'a, or if you look in Al-Rawdat al-Murbiyah, the Sharh of Zad al-Mustaqni', or if you look into the more mu'tamid kutub, like Al-Insaf, or if you go to some of the amazing works of Ibn Qudama, like Al-Mughni, and across the board, mu'tamidan in Ghaya, Muntaha al-Iradat, and so on, you will find that the opinion of the madhab is you cut the salah. As far as I could find, I found this also to be the opinion of the Hanafi madhab. The Shawafi' and the Malikiya said no. طيب, what about them? They said you have to catch a full rak'ah. You have to catch one rak'ah in the time of that salah to have caught that salah. What is the adilla now? We mentioned the madahib. What about the adilla? What are the proofs? The adilla for the Shawafi' and the Malikiya, amongst others, I'm just giving you ikhtisaran, a few of them. إذا أدرك أحدكم ركعة من الصلاة, this is one riwayah of the hadith, that if somebody catches a rak'ah from a salah, then he has caught the salah. طيب? And this hadith is sahih. The adilla for the Hanafiya and the Hanabila is another riwayah from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it's muttafaqun alayhi as well. I mean, it's Bukhari and Muslim, no da'af to it. إذا أدرك أحدكم سجد يعني السجدة من الصلاة العصر قبل تغروب الشمس. يعني if somebody catches one sajda of a salah of asr before the setting of the sun, then he has caught the salah. طيب, and the riwayah, I mean, I'm just giving you the part, then it continues أدراك سجدة يعني سجدة من صلاة الصبح يعني الفجر قبل أن يطلع الشمس, يعني whoever catches a sajda from صلاة الفجر before the rising of the sun, then he has caught the subh salah as well, and so on. These are many riwayat, I'm just giving you يعني the essence of it. طيب. So now one riwayah and one hadith mentions rak'ah, one mentions sajda. طيب. I studied Za'ad with multiple shuyukh, and they gave me different answers. One of the shuyukh that I studied Za'ad with is in Pakistan. One of the people of that are called over there Ahlul Hadith, mashallah, and they're very strict on hadith and so on. So when they taught, we were going over this matan, he said, here you have this mas'ala, but what is rajih is the qawl of the Shawafi. And Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen and some took this opinion, because if you take rak'ah and you take sajda, then the rak'ah is wadih and is clearer in the hadith. I also studied the same book with Shaykh Dr. Allama Sadiq al-Manna, who studied in Saudi under many of the shuyukh of Saudi, and he was a stronger usul, usul he was very strong in. So here he brought a usul. First, is there khilaf bain al-hadithain? Is there khilaf? Is it either rak'ah or sajda? So he said no, because one of the usul of hadith is if you can bring hadith together, then you don't take them apart. Meaning, in one hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that if you catch a rak'ah from a salah, whether it's asr before ghurub al-shams, before the time maghrib comes in, or subh before tulu al-shams, before the sun comes up, you caught the rak'ah. طيب, this masala is ijma'an. So now, and the reason I'm saying this, because a lot of people, they take this, well, this hadith and that hadith, and will take this hadith and they reject. You have to look at the mas'ala from a wider perspective. So the first mas'ala is, if you catch a rak'ah, have you caught the salah? Well, the Hanafiya, wa Shawafi, al-Malikiyya, Hanabila, Zahiriya, everybody agrees on this. So I did not find any khilaf on this issue. In Al-Mughni and Al-Majmu' I found that ijma'an, by consensus, the ulama took this opinion. So this is one mas'ala. Now we get to a second mas'ala. It's not mas'ala khilafiyya. There are two different masail. The Hanabila and the Hanafiya didn't say, if you catch a rak'ah, you don't catch the salah. No, everybody agrees on that. And there's a hadith on that. But what about the hadith of man adraka ahadakum sajada min as-salah? طيب. Here now we get into the issue of this riwayah. Shawafi and Malikiya have to reject this riwayah, because they say if you just catch a sajda, you didn't catch the rak'ah, and they have their method. They will say, well, sajda here means the rak'ah, but that's ba'id, because how do sajda, the word sajda does not mean rak'ah. And secondly, we know the rak'ah is not complete until you make sajdatain and get up from it and so on. Tayyib. Then there is some ulama who said, no, here the word sajda should be rak'ah and so on. But then there are different asanid and different rawayat, and we don't see any need to try to say that, no, the word here is incorrectly mentioned. It's muttafaqun alayh in Bukhari and Muslim. Tayyib, but where did the Hanabila and the Hanafiya say takbir? This mentions sajda. So my teacher, one of my teachers in Pakistan from the Ahlul Hadith, when I had this discussion with him, when he mentioned the rak'ah and I mentioned these adillah, and we were, this wasn't like a official dars. We were traveling and we started to go over the book, and I wanted to benefit from the Shaykh instead of wasting time. So we were going over this book, and when he mentioned this masala, and I had already studied with Shaykh Sadiq, I mentioned the adillah here. He said, khalas, we will take this, we will say, no, you have to catch the sajda, because what's mentioned in the hadith is sajda. Tayyib. That's also a good way to think about it. But now we get to an usuli issue, which is in usul. If we say sajda, that is a juz min a rak'ah. Tayyib. So in usul, if the juz is mentioned, then how do you make tafriq bain al-ajza? Why would you say just sajda when in reality that means you didn't catch the full rak'ah? and then they bring a usul of tashbih bain al-ibadatayn, yani a connection between two ibadat. So then they said that what if somebody comes for salah and you're making salah and he makes takbir behind the imam before taslim. He makes takbir and he joins the imam before taslim. Did he catch the salah or not? Tayyib. And you're very quick to say yes, but I always like to look at every side of a mas'ala. And usually I just kind of go through these, but in some masail I like to give you a little more depth. For every mas'ala I spend this time. But just because I don't want to take too long, so I don't bring all that research to you guys. But Tayyib, the Shawafi' and the Malikiya would say, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if you catch a rak'ah, then you've caught Fajr. Yani the hadith about Fajr. And also about Jum'ah. And if you catch a rak'ah, then you caught the Jum'ah and you make one more rak'ah. If not, then you make 4 rak'ah for Dhuhr. So you didn't catch the salah. You guys are all shaking yes for a second. Now what happened, right? So now there's 2 ahadith they will present as Nabawi did in the Majmu'. One is that if you caught the rak'ah, if you caught 1 rak'ah with the imam, then you caught Jum'ah. One is about Salatul Subh, Fajr as well, same thing. That if you catch a rak'ah. But is that catching a rak'ah or the salah itself? This is where the difference is. Meaning, if you said Takbiratul Ihram behind the imam, you didn't catch the rak'ah. That is true. But do you follow the imam or do you make your own salah? La, you sit down. You follow the imam and then when he finishes, you continue your salah. So technically you did catch the salah. Even if for dhuhr, for Jum'ah, you still have to pray dhuhr because you didn't catch a full rak'ah. Another rawayah also regarding catching the imam in ruku'. If you caught the ruku', you didn't finish a rak'ah. Actually, meaning you didn't get to sajda, you didn't get the other parts that are of a rak'ah, but you caught the rak'ah. Why? Because you caught something from the salah and so on. So if you look at an usuli perspective and you take all of the rawayat, then no doubt if you caught a rukn from the arkan of salah, then you did catch the salah on its time. This is the mas'ala. Tayyib? Meaning if you caught the imam in Takbiratul Ihram, you did catch the salah, even if you don't get to use the rak'ah, because you didn't catch the full rak'ah. So if you made Takbiratul Ihram a juz from the salah, from the arkan of salah, during that time, then if you talk about the adrak of salah, did you catch the salah's timing? Yes, you caught it. Will you have ithm? Yes. If you had the ability to make salah on its proper time and you delayed it, yes. If you had darura, if you didn't have the ability, that's different. Meaning, time for dhuhr comes in and you're like, let me just finish up this task. And let me just do this, let me just do that. And you see the time for asr is coming close and you're delaying it without any darura, without any necessity. You're not in a test, you don't have like a plane taking off or so on and so on. And you delayed it till you made the takbir and now asr adhan came. You made the takbir in the time of dhuhr, you did catch the salah. You don't have to make qada and so on, but you will get the ithm for it. You will get the sin for it. So you should not delay the salah that late. Tayyib? Clear? We good? Very clear? All right. Not clear? Tayyib, why not clear?
So do you catch the sajda and make that rak'ah, or do you have to have a whole rak'ah to catch it?
If you made takbir in the time of the salah, you caught the salah.
In the time of the imam salah?
No, we're just talking about your own salah. If you're praying behind the imam, then if you made takbir behind the imam, you did catch the jama'ah, but you did not catch a rak'ah. Unless you catch him in ruku'.
So you said for Jama'ah, if you catch him in taslim, then you have to pay 4.
You have to pray 4. We'll cover that under Jum'ah.
If you don't catch it before the ruku'.
If you catch the ruku', you catch a rak'ah, you make 1 more rak'ah for Jum'ah. Anything after that, you did not catch the actual salah, even though you caught the jama'ah. So then you have to make 4 rak'ah dhuhr.
So the issue comes down to whether you're sinful or not? Or like
No, those are 2 different issues. One issue is, are you sinful? If you delayed the salah knowing the time for salah without any darura, you are sinful, no doubt. But did you miss the salah? Is your salah now qada or not? This is a second issue. If you made the takbir before the time of that salah exited, then you caught the salah. Hanabila and Ahnaf, And wallahu alam, I mean, if you look at it from an usuli perspective, looking at all of the adillah, then this is rajih.
What was the contradiction with the Shawafi and Maliki?
Shawafi and Malikiya said if you caught a juz of the rak'ah, but not the full rak'ah, your salah is qada. Meaning if you made takbir, still time for dhuhr, you read al-Fatiha, all of that, you made ruku, all of that, but you didn't finish the rak'ah, and asr came in, your salah is qada. You did not catch salah on its time.
And that's for all the salat, huh? The salawat.
All of salawat. Tayyib. And there is no salah qabla al-ghalabat al-dhanni. Yani, before you can be sure about the entrance of the dukhul al-waqtiha, إما باجتهاد أو بخبر ثقة متيقن. طيب. Now there are few masail here. One is there is no salah before the time of that salah enters. That's the easy mas'ala. Meaning, if you're about to pray dhuhr and the time for dhuhr has not entered, that salah is batila. Some people may think, and in dhuhr time is in, you start making salah, and then the adhan goes off for dhuhr salah. طيب? You made takbirat ihram, you started the salah, now the adhan went off for dhuhr. Did you catch dhuhr at its time? Huh? No. Because earlier mas'ala was the ending of the time. This mas'ala is the beginning of the time. If you began the salah before the time for dhuhr was in, that means you prayed a part of it outside its time,